Well, Happy New Year to you all. It's now time to do quarter one of 2024's best Motability EV deals. So I've just done a quick search here on the site and with the new prices, and it looks like there's quite a lot on there now. I think it said 700. It's not showing on this page anymore. Let's go back one just to see what it said on there. 174 vehicles are now available on the Motability Scheme. So, and the good news is there's quite a lot now with zero upfront payment. And the most stunning one we can see first of all is a new Jeep Avenger, which is quite a tall car. It's basically it's using the same platform as the Vauxhall Corsa, Peugeot 208. I think there's a few others. The Stantis or something group are using it. Basically, it's all part of the same group. I just don't know much about it. I don't think it's got. Let's have a look at its range. 249 miles range, 5 seats. Whether it's got adaptive cruise control, it doesn't actually say on here. It just tells you a little bit about the performance, but you'd have to investigate that yourself. I'm not going to assume that you want adaptive cruise control like I did. It wasn't such a big selling point to you, maybe, so I don't know. As is vehicle to load, is that such a big selling point to you? I don't know. I'll point out the ones that I know have it in this video, but you just might want a big SUV type EV. And it does about 249 miles of range, so in real world that's going to be around about 200 per charge, depending on the time of year and how you drive it. So let's have a look what else we got. We got the Peugeot 2008 on there. That starts at no advance payment. The BYD Atto 3, I'd have to have a look at that because I've got a feeling that might have vehicle to load charging for me. Let's have a look here. See, there are a few of them on here that haven't been updated properly, so I don't know which ones they're actually offering. Yeah, that's not giving more details on it. The good thing that I see on here is you can now get the Volkswagen ID3 now for 0% upfront payment. Thing is, it's only the 54 kilowatt hour battery one, so it's not going to have the best of range. Or 58 kilowatt hours, might be a bit better. Let's have a look at the range on it. Oh, 266, that's quite good. Now, that's not going to be the option filled one, that, but you're getting a VW on the ID3 for no upfront payment. You might be tempted to go for something with a bit more toys in it, pay a bit more for it. And if you want you can go right up to the ultimate one, 1,600, or if you have flush of money, you could get a 77 kilowatt hour one. They start at just over 2,399. What else we got? We've got the Citroen C4. That's basically on the same platform as that Jeep. Let's go through the ones that are the same platform as the Jeep Avenger. Then you've got the Peugeot 208, basically the same car underneath, Peugeot body on top, Peugeot cabin. Citroen CX4, I believe that's on the same platform, same 50 kilowatt hour battery platform. Yeah, Citroen C4. The Skoda Enyaq Estate, that looked good, but I don't think they've got any it hasn't been updated fully yet. Let's have a look. Alright, they've got two options on there now. This could be interesting. This would be good for us because it's got a big boot to put a wheelchair in. Let's have a look there. I'm still trying to figure out what's going to be my top selections of this month. Do them in this. It's got a 62 kilowatt hour battery, is it? What's the range of this thing? 249 miles. Oh well, we'll put the Skoda in here. It's nice to see that there's so much selection, so many vehicles to select from or choose from now on this. So I've still got my New Year drinking mouth on, slurring my words and. Let's have a look. What's it called? Enyaq. Yeah, Enyaq. Enyaq Estate. We'll put that on there because that could be from 0% up front. Zero. I was going to say from zero. large SUV body type. I just don't know that much about it. Let's have a look, have a quick scanning. Performance. Let's go to Enyaq Estate EV. Full electric SUV. Could take it for a spin. That's quite a, when you're looking at it, it's a 40 grand car you're getting for no upfront payment. This might be because I think these hold the value well, so they'll have high trading value. Now you might have to pay a bit more for one with some of the options in your want. Well, these will have to research that because I can't find much more in it. But I know Skoda has got a good reputation now, so that could be one to look at. The BYD Dolphin. So I don't know anything about that. The one I'm looking at is the one we've got now, the MG4. And the one we've got out there, the long range standard SE long range, is now only £49 upfront payment. So you've got no excuse not to get that one. If you're interested in doing what I'm doing and using it to run your house on cheap lecky through the day, you know, you have to go on like an EV tariff and charge it up at night on, like I do. I'm on Octopus EV tariff now. Actually, I've got a link below. You can get 50 quid if you join Octopus now using my link. Get it 50 quid off your first bill. But yeah, if you want to do like I'm doing and you're saving money on your bill during the day because you plugged your house into the car and you're running most things in the house during the day off your car at the 7.5 kilowatt hour per kilowatt hour rate, then yeah, this is what you need to do. Get one of them for £49 because it's got a bigger battery. You can also get the trophy one, so for £649 now. Now what I'm interested in is when there's a new version of this come out now with now a 77 kilowatt hour battery. It's called the extended range. So you got the standard range, long range, and now the extended range. That's the one I'd like to get next, hopefully, if they put that on the scheme eventually. If it does come on the scheme, that's one to keep your eye on, but I don't think it's on at the moment. But yeah, you've got no excuse if you want to copy me, £49, get the long range battery one and run your house off it. I'll even put links on the vehicle load adapters and things down below for you to get as well. Right, moving on, you've got the Vauxhall Mocha. Now, I'm going to put MG4 long range in there. 49 from £49 on my list here. £49, 48, 49. Take it off and all from New Year drinking, because I've seen this. Now I'm assuming this is a new shape one, and I know the corner has vehicle to load, so I'll be able to use it for running the house like I do with the MG4. And I think yes, you can get a premium long range for no upfront payment. That's looking like a bargain to me. And I know the premium has adaptive cruise control and all those other nice things I like. It's a bit taller than the MG4 as well, so it'll be easier for mum to get in and out of. So the MG4, I'm going to have to put the now I'm assuming this is all based on the fact that I'm assuming they're not trying to get rid of old shapes, old stock, and the new one is out now. Right, so I'm going to make that number, in fact I might put that above the Skoda Enyaq, make that number Enyaq, put that in here, like that. Yeah, I'm going to make the Hyundai Kona #1 selection so far. You've got the Cupra Born, that could be a good car. That's basically a better looking ID3, whatever it was. Again, it's not showing what options you've got here. They've not updated the site properly yet. It's just so much choice now, that's the thing. That you've got the MG ZS. I know that will be a good option, but they're doing the same thing. I don't know which ones you can have. This will probably be updated later on the site. Let's have a look. It says the 999, so I assume you can get the bigger battery one, 77 kilowatt hour battery one. The Mazda MX-30, I think this is something you should avoid. It's like the corner one that I've just mentioned. There's a 39 kilowatt one, no upfront payment. But why would you go for that when you get the one with the bigger battery and better toys for no upfront payment? Again, I'm not seeing anything on this, but I know the MX-30's got a really small battery and a low range per charge. Zoe's back on there. Fiat 500 if you're into that. The Honda E. Now if you look back at a video or two on this, like a few quarters ago, they were asking like silly amounts for this. They were asking like £2 plus upwards. Now it's on there for £0. Renault Megane E-Tech, that could be with the other mention, but it's not. You still have to still starts at 195 upfront payment. Too much, I think, especially when you look at what else you can get on there now. Moving forward, now the Kia e-Niro is an option, but at this amount up front, let's see what the battery size is on that. Well, possibility. I'm not going to put there. That's something I would look at, but it's not. I'm not going to put it on the list at the moment. It's just too much. I would look at it because it's got the vehicle to load option, but when you can get the Kona, which is basically the same vehicle with the Hyundai body on it and the Hyundai interior, you might as well go for the Kona. So we'll leave that for now. But here's something that's worthy of a mention. The Citroen Berlingo, you can now get it for $495 upfront payment. Now this would be good for wheelchair users for adapting. Obviously it's a big tall van like thing. Range isn't spectacular. I think it only gets like 150 miles or something. Let's have a look. 174 miles. Well, you're talking about 130 in real world ish. 5 doors, 5 seats. Yeah, that'd be a good one if you're a wheelchair user that needs a ramp. So you've actually got something on here that only starts at $495. That would be good for you if you need someone. If you can't get the person out of the chair and like I have to do with Mum, I get her to the car in the wheelchair, and then it's a struggle from the wheelchair into the car seat. But if you're one of those people who needs to wheel the mobility person into the vehicle, you need it adapted to do that, then this could be the one to go for. But again, it's not going to. As long as you're doing local trips, it shouldn't be a big issue for you. You probably need a whole other video from. I'm sure there's lots of them on the internet and everything about how to use rapid chargers while you're out and about as well. But we'll leave that for another time if I'm ever going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stick that on the list, because the way Mum's mobility is degenerating, that might have to be something I'd have to look at next. So now stick around, because if you're flush and got plenty of money, I've got some really good options on here now if you want something big and showy off. So stick around. I would not recommend the Toyota BZ4X. It looks nice and everything, but it's just not got the battery range. Here's an option for us. It's just basically the Lexus UX is the Toyota BZ4X, same platform, different body shell, made by the same people really. Oh God, my throat's gone. MG5. I might put this on my list, because that'd be good, better for Mum's wheelchair, and it was just way too much up to now. They're wanting well over. I think if you look back in the last 2 quarters, on the videos from them quarters, they were wanting £2.5 grand, I think, for it. But it's now down to a more reasonable price, $499. So I might put that. I'll put it before that, because we don't really need the Citroen Berlingo at the moment, but it's something we might need in the future. So MG5. Basically, that's a bit like the Skoda Estate. It's got a big boot. I mean, I can get the wheelchair in that, but you've got to fold it up and slot it in a certain way. With that, I would just throw it in flat, basically. Then you've got to do this and push it up underneath the lip of the boot and then stand it up. But that, I could put it in flat like I could the MJHS before we went to EV. Honda E, now that's one I know nothing about. So look at that. Oh, it's got a 69 kilowatt hour battery. Half decent range, it's just too much up front. 600, there's a nice one, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, but still wouldn't pay that much up front for it. I'd go for the Hyundai Kona before that. XC40, if you want to be posh, you can go for that. I'm glad to see the Nissan Arias went down the price up. They were wanting about £6,000 for that at one point, I think. Yeah, 1,999. Now here's the shocker. They're still, for the Vauxhall Corsa, after all those brilliant vehicles you've got for no upfront cost, they're now offering the Vauxhall Corsa is still like 2,499 up front, like 2,249, sorry, up front. And you've seen all the vehicles you can get for no upfront payment. Why would you get that? You'd have to be like mentally ill for Vauxhalls or something. I think they're that good that you're going to pay that much ahead of all those other vehicles we've just seen. So no, don't touch it with a barge pole. Don't be a silly person. Same with this, the Peugeot 208. When you've got that Jeep and everything else all built on the same platform, why would you pay 2,449 for it? Hyundai Ioniq 6. Now you'd want that because it looks like a Porsche at the back. But Jesus, 2,849. In fact, I'm going to do a new thing in here. I'm going to do posh show-offs. Which one would you go for? If money was no object, would you go for the Ioniq 6? Posher one, I've always had to go to the posher one on these, is 399 up front. Or the one we've got coming soon, TSO, you wouldn't touch that. Volkswagen ID5, maybe but for that price, no. Right, on the next screen is the new posh car that you can now get on this if you want to look posh. Okay, are you ready for this? Oh, it's not there yet, it's a bit further down. You've got the Kia EV6, something like that. It's a Marmite car, that. Some like it, some hate it. I might put that in here because that's... In fact, I am going to look at what versions you can get here, because I know there's a super hot fast version now. Ooh, the GT line. All-wheel drive. Oh, that might be the super fast one. Let's have a look. Oh, that's so tempting. Get saving now, Cliff. Right, GT line. EV6 GT line, all-wheel drive. EV6 GT line, all-wheel drive. I think that's the one that does not 60 in like less than 4 seconds or so. 3.5 seconds. Now, why is this on the scheme, but the MG4 X-Power isn't? That's basically 3.8. Correction, the GT line is actually 5.1 seconds, not a 60, so not as fast as I thought it was. BMW might be a better option for super fast, but looking up here, there is one called just the GT, standard GT. That's probably the one that's never going to come on the screen. Not 63.4 seconds. That's the one I thought it was. Sorry for the mistake. So we've now got a new category on this. We've got the posh show-offs, and now we've got the super fast. And you got the Kia EV6. So you can now get an EV on the Motability Scheme that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds for $4,995. So are you a posh show-off with like an Ioniq 6 or Kia, the standard EV6, or the one I'm going to come to soon? Or are you someone who just wants to burn everyone off on the road? If you're the person who wants to burn everyone off on the road, an EV6 GT line, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, don't know what top speed is, I think it's about 150 plus, 4,995 on the Motability Scheme. There you go. How do you like that? Might have to make that a picture this time. Right. So it looks like we've got one more page before we get on. Might not be, it might be soon. Posh show-offs might also like the Audi Q4, so we'll put that in there. You know, some people are with Audis, I think they're the best things to sliced bread for some reason. Now, Ford Mach-E, Mustang, BMW X1. Put that in the posh show-offs as well. So here's what you can now get. You can now get BMWs. And yeah, I wish the bloody Teslas would come on though. That's what I'm wishing. You got Mustang Mach-E. I'm not impressed with that. But here's another shocker, another laugh. Another big laugh for you. You've got all those brilliant cars there. And they've got an Astra hatchback in there. And they're wanting £5,000 up front for it. You've got to be mentally insane for Vauxhall Corsas to want to buy that for, not to want to get that in a scheme for that price. When you've got something like a BMWs, Ford Mustangs, you've got Audis. You know, you've got a car that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds for all for less than that. Why would you still go for the Vauxhall Astra hatchback? You've got to be mad. And I think we're now getting to the big one, the i4. This is the posh sedan that you might want to get if you're a show-off. I think that one's going to top my show-off list. This was the one I was saying we're going to come to. Starts from 5,499. Personally, I can't see why you would still want that over that GT line that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. So, BMW i4. When you look at these other ones, see, I don't know, to take a look what I was. Looks as though they're all the same speed, so it's just extra toys you'll be paying for. Let's just see how fast this thing is. There's an M Sport. They're all M Sport. A bit more research on this one. Not 65.2 seconds, still quite fast, but it's no EV6 GT line. There's some pictures of it. But there's a posh BMW if you're into posh BMWs. Does look quite posh and BMW-ish, doesn't it? Personally, I'd still have the GT line. The other good thing about this GT line is I know it does vehicle to load, so I could use it to power my house off it still. There we have it. So, number one vehicle this quarter is the Hyundai Premium Kona Premium 64 kilowatt hour. No upfront payment. I've then put the Skoda Enyaq Estate in there because that's got a bigger boot than the Hyundai would have. So you might want that as a number two, but I personally would go for the Hyundai. I've still got the MG4 long range in there because you can get that for £49. But the and I know that works with this with the setup I've got here. But looking at the Hyundai Kona, you can get that for no upfront payment. What I want to ask MG is, Kia now have that super fast one on this. So where's the X-Power MG4? That needs to go on here. Even if you charge them $3-4 grand for it, it needs to be on there now because Kia are offering their super fast EV on there now. You also need to put your extended long range one there, be it 1,500 quid or something for a bigger battery. that'll run my house for longer, that would be an option for me. You've got the MG5 on there for $499, which is good because it's got big boot, so easier for me to put a wheelchair in the back of there. And then of course, worthy of a mention now is the Citroen Berlingo, only from $495. That's great for to be adapted for wheelchair access, wheelchair ramps up the bank. Obviously that would be extra. You'd have to pay extra. You might get some of that off the scheme, I don't know. But yeah, that's great for those type of people who need to adapt to the vehicle to wheel a chair, or wheel the disabled person onto it. We now have the posh super show-off category. I think topping that is the BMW i4. That's going to be you've also got the Audi in there if you want to be a posh show-off. Lower down on the posh show-off list is the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the standard one, and the Kia EV6. The Ioniq 6 just looks like a Porsche at the back. That's probably why you would want that one. But we now have a super fast category, and the only one on that list, topping it all by itself, is the Kia EV6 GT line all-wheel drive that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, around 150 mile an hour. If you want something super fast, that's the one to go for. Quite a choice now on the scheme compared to what it was back in the pandemic. You could hardly get anything, and most of them were charging a fortune up front. So you've really got no excuse now as far as I'm concerned. So remember to like and subscribe. Oh, remember you also get a charger fitted to your house as well in this scheme. So you know you've got nothing, you've got no excuse, and you've even got a link below to get £50 off when you change your Octopus energy to charge your car at 7.5 pence per kilowatt. It's going to cost you like 50 pence to go 20 miles or less in electricity. So you know what you're wasting on petrol or diesel to do that now. Think about that. Now, that's about it. Remember to like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications and all that other good stuff that helps this video get out there and do more for me and you and everyone else. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye now.